You walked into your bank this morning thinking you were doing the right thing, being transparent, being honest, telling your teller exactly what you needed and why. And what happened next? What is happening right now to seniors across this country who said the wrong thing to the wrong person at the wrong bank counter in 2026? Is a 10-day freeze on the account that receives their SSI, their SSDI, their Social Security payment. Not because they did anything illegal, not because they were trying to hide anything, because 5 specific things that seniors say to their banks every single day are now triggering automatic protective holds under new 2026 banking laws that were designed to protect seniors from fraud. But that are freezing the accounts of innocent seniors who said something that sounded suspicious to an algorithm, a teller, or a state-mandated monitoring system that moves faster than any human explanation can. Today we are walking through all 5, what they are, why they trigger a freeze, and the exact way to handle each situation without saying the words that lock your account before your next SSI or SSDI deposit arrives. Which city and state are you watching from right now? Drop it below immediately. Because these account freeze triggers are hitting seniors in certain states significantly harder than others, and I need to know exactly how many people in this community have already experienced a freeze they did not understand. Drop your city and state right now in the comments. Here is the first thing you should never say to your bank in 2026, and this is the one that is generating the most account freezes for SSI and SSDI recipients who have absolutely no idea why their account locked. Never tell your bank that someone else told you to make a withdrawal or transfer, especially if that someone is a person you met online, a person who called you unexpectedly, or a person your bank has never heard of before. Over half of US states have enacted legislation that allows or even requires financial institutions to delay disbursements if they have reasonable cause to believe a senior is being exploited. Nearly 60% of bankers now feel confident in their immunity from civil liability when they freeze a transaction. That immunity is the critical detail. Your bank can freeze your account without your permission and without a court order, simply because a teller or an AI system believed you might be a victim of financial exploitation. And the statement that triggers that belief faster than almost anything else is a senior telling their bank that someone instructed them to move their money. Capital Skyline. You do not have to be a victim of a scam for this trigger to fire. You can be making a completely legitimate transaction at the direction of a completely legitimate person, a financial advisor, an adult child helping manage your bills, a landlord who asked for a specific payment method. And the moment you tell your teller that someone else directed you to make this transaction, the freeze protocol begins. Instead of explaining who directed you, handle the transaction. Say nothing about the instruction. And if the bank asks why you are making the withdrawal, simply say you are managing your regular monthly expenses. Have you ever had a bank teller ask you questions about why you are making a withdrawal? Yes or no? Drop it below right now along with your city and state. Because the number of seniors who answered those questions in ways that triggered a freeze they never expected is one of the most important things this channel has ever looked at. Here is the second thing, the one that is triggering freezes for seniors who are trying to be responsible and transparent about their financial situation. Never tell your bank you are behind on bills or under financial pressure when making a large withdrawal. AI algorithms misinterpret innocent financial situations as exploitation scenarios. If you are logged into your bank app while on a phone call, or if you are showing signs of stress or urgency during a transaction, the AI may flag the transfer as high risk. A senior who tells their teller they need to withdraw $1,200 because they are behind on rent and a family member is going to help them cover the rest has just described a scenario that matches the financial exploitation profile in the bank's monitoring system. A senior under financial pressure, a large cash withdrawal, an outside party involved, 3 flags, 1 freeze, and their SSI deposit, arriving in 2 days, is now sitting in a locked account while the bank investigates whether that senior is being exploited. The transaction itself is completely legitimate. The explanation created the freeze. Keep personal financial circumstances private during bank transactions. Make the withdrawal. Say nothing about the pressure behind it. Here is the third thing. The one that is freezing accounts for seniors who added a family member to help manage their finances. Never add a joint account holder to your bank account without understanding exactly what that means for your SSI or SSD.I payment protection. And never tell your bank you're adding someone because you cannot manage the account yourself. If your child gets divorced, sued, or falls behind on their own debts, creditors can freeze your joint account to satisfy their judgment. Because the child is a legal owner, the entire balance is considered fair game. You might wake up to find your Social Security money frozen because your son defaulted on a car loan. And here is the specific trigger that happens at the bank counter. A senior who tells their banker they want to add their adult child to their account because they are having trouble managing it themselves has just flagged themselves as a potentially vulnerable adult under the bank's Elder Financial Exploitation Monitoring Protocol. The bank now has both a legal basis and a regulatory incentive to investigate before processing that change. It is very important for the judge to know that your money comes from Social Security, SSI, VA, or other federal benefits before the judge decides whether your money should be turned over to a debt collector. If you need help managing your account, explore a power of attorney arrangement with an elder law attorney rather than a joint account. A power of attorney gives a trusted person authority to manage your finances without making them a legal owner of the account, protecting your SSI and SSD deposits from their creditors and their legal problems. Okidiario. Which city and state are you in right now? Drop it below. I am asking again because I want every person in this community represented in the comments before we get to the final 2 triggers. Your city, your state, right now. Here is the 4th thing, the one that is generating automatic holds for seniors whose account documentation has not been updated since the account was opened. Never ignore a letter from your bank asking you to update your identification or account documentation. And never tell your bank your identification documents are expired or unavailable when they ask. Know your customer regulations are being strictly enforced in 2026. Banks are auditing older accounts that may have been opened decades ago with minimal documentation. If your file is missing a current photo, ID or proof of address, the system may automatically place a soft freeze on the account until you update it. For seniors whose driver's license has expired, whose passport is outdated, or whose account was opened before current documentation requirements existed, the KYC audit is already running, and an account that fails the audit does not get a courtesy call. It gets a soft freeze that affects every incoming transaction, including your next SSI or SSDI deposit. Check every form of identification you currently carry. Verify that your driver's license or state ID is current and has not expired. Verify that the address on your ID matches the address on your bank account. If your ID has expired, renew it before your bank's KYC audit reaches your account. Here is the 5th thing, the most important one, and the one that is generating the largest and longest account freezes of anything we have covered today. Never make an unusually large cash withdrawal immediately before or after your SSI or SSDI deposit arrives without notifying your bank in advance. If you have a large routine transfer coming up, call the bank 48 hours in advance to pre-clear the transaction. In 2026, the secret to financial access is transparency. The more the bank knows your intentions, the less likely they are to hold your cash. A senior whose SSI deposit arrives on the 1st of the month and who withdraws a large portion of it in cash within the first 2 days has created the exact transaction pattern that the bank's AI behavioural modelling system is trained to flag. A government benefit deposit, followed immediately by a large cash withdrawal, matches the profile of an account being used to launder funds or exploit a vulnerable person. Capital Skyline. The solution is not to avoid the withdrawal, it is to pre-notify your bank before the withdrawal happens. Call your bank the day before. Tell them your SSI deposit is arriving tomorrow and you plan to withdraw a specific amount for monthly expenses. That pre-notification creates a documented explanation that the AI system reads before it generates the flag. And a transaction with a pre-existing documented explanation does not trigger the same freeze protocol as a transaction that appears without context. Here is exactly what you do right now to protect your SSI and SSD payment from an account freeze in 2026. Designate a trusted contact on all your financial accounts today. Under FINRA Rule 4, 512, and similar banking guidelines, a trusted contact is someone the bank can call to verify that you are safe and that a transaction is legitimate. A trusted contact is not a joint account holder. They cannot access your money. They are simply a person the bank can call when a transaction triggers a review, someone who can confirm that you are acting voluntarily and that the transaction is legitimate. That one designation resolves the majority of protective hold situations before they extend beyond 24 hours. Capital Skyline log into your bank account regularly. To avoid these freezes, you need to look like an active, predictable customer. Log in regularly, notify your bank before large purchases, and be extremely cautious about adding joint owners. In 2026, access to your money is not guaranteed. It is something you have to actively maintain. RUWeb. Call your bank 48 hours before any large withdrawal or transfer that is outside your normal monthly pattern. Pre-clear the transaction before it happens. That call is the single most effective freeze prevention tool available to seniors in 2026. Verify that your identification documents are current and that your account information, name, address, social security number, exactly matches your IRS and SSA records. One final thing. Scammers are calling seniors right now claiming to be bank fraud investigators, warning them that their account has been flagged and they must verify their information immediately or their SSI payment will be frozen. That call is a scam. Every single time. Your bank does not call you to prevent a freeze by collecting information over the phone. If any call arrives claiming your account is about to be frozen and you must act immediately, hang up. Then call your bank directly using the number on the back of your debit card. Has your bank account ever been frozen or held without a clear explanation? Drop your experience in the comments right now, along with your city and state. Like this video if it showed you something you needed to know today. Share it with every SSI and SSDI recipient in your family. And subscribe right now, because the next investigation covers exactly how to get a frozen account released as fast as possible when your SSI deposit is already inside it. The system has rules. You deserve to know what they are. Take care of yourself.